What's up, YouTube? Hang on, I think I almost have everything. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for some reason my live feeds do better than my videos anymore. I need one more thing. So figure I'll do an extra live feed instead of putting hours in on a video. Okay, so what we're doing is let's put this. Probably one of the most important things when it comes to tree work is your throw ball. What's up, Chris? What up, Billy? I need a haircut. When I start pulling my hair back, you know it's gotten too long. Okay, so get you guys a little closer where I can kind of see what you're saying. Brendan, what's going on? Leo, how are you? Vides. Oh no. Oh no, what do you do? So, this could be multiple reasons you would need this trick. So, let's say you need to access a tree that is in a yard you're not allowed to be in. So you need to access it without getting in the yard. Sometimes you can throw a throw ball up into it if it overhangs and get up into it, but in normal cases, not so much. So, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, Chris. So let's say I'm in this tree. I'll move it into the. I have to use a little bit of our imagination, but there's my tree. Okay, right here. I'm in this tree. I need to get to that one. So I could transfer, get up high, and then get another tie-in point in that, and then transfer over and then go up. Or you can go straight to where you just rappel across and transfer yourself. That one would, I guess I can kind of show that. It's kind of a frowned upon probably technique. It's not the, well, I'll show you, and you guys can be the judge. You know, you decide what's safe for you and what isn't. But you ever get into chainsaw carving? No, Michigan, I haven't. I've tried a few things. Like I've done furniture and stuff. I've made a lot of stuff, but as far as carving, not so much. I've done like some chairs and like a mushroom and just some silly stuff. But what's up, John Bob? Brandon, what's up? So we're here, and I want to get over to that tree. So I'm going to show you how to access something away from you that's like parallel with you. So instead of having to go all the way down and go over to this tree, I'm going to show you how to access it without doing all that mess. So put you back here where the view's a little better. How's that? Oh, my bad. Okay. So the first trick I'll show you is just simply how I store my throw ball. You can put it in a bag where you got to do all that stuff. I made a little spool. This is lights, like magnet lights. These are the lenses. So I just put them on a stick because I didn't have any. I didn't have a spool at the time, and I had broke the one I had, so I just made one. A little bit hillbilly, but it is what it is. So you have your throw ball. I always set mine up on that because I can throw it down, pull it out, and then after I pull a bunch out, I'll get it all ready, and then I'll back flank it like this onto itself, so it makes a little pile. And then I have on the end of my throw ball string, I just tie a loop. So the trick with this is the loop you tie just needs to be able, the throw ball needs to be able to go through it. Okay, so throw ball goes through the loop, so you know the loop's not too small. Here's how I throw my, or tie my throw balls on and disconnect them and connect them. It's very simple. So take that loop, put it through the hole, okay, and then over the ball. So take it to the bottom of the ball, open the hole up, and put it over it like that. What you end up with is a girth hitch. So there's not a bunch of knots and stuff to hang up. This is how I always do it. It's the fastest, quickest, most efficient way I can figure out. And to take it off, you see there's rope on one side that goes across. There's no rope on the other side that goes across. So you pick this side, the side where the rope crosses it, grab that to take it off. You would grab that little piece and pull out on it and put it back over the ball on the same side that you've seen it. So it just goes out, back over the ball, and then you're off. So put it on one more time. Through the loop, over the throw ball. Quick and easy every time. So that's a very simple, very effective little trick. So what we're wanting to do is take our throw ball, throw it over that branch. The problem is, we'll watch. Okay, I threw it over that branch. Now, ooh, this may be a bad display for this, because it's going to be tricky to get the ball to go around that. But the problem is, you can't get the throw ball back if you don't have a guy. So the way you would do that, this may not be the right setup. I may have to switch the setup a little bit because you need to be able to get up under a little, but I'll just show you. So here's how I do it. First, I throw the throw ball over it, and I kind of figure out where I'm at. So there's the length of the throw ball, and I need that much distance, I know. And I'm going to put, what I'm going to do here, now that I've got it measured, is I'm going to make a loop right there. I just do a double overhand. You can tie whichever kind of loop you want. But I just find this one to be super simple, super easy. So now what we've got is our throw ball right here. It's got about, it's probably like 8 foot away. So we throw it back over. Now watch, this loop, as I lower the throw ball, is going to go to it. I actually need to shorten this a little bit. But as you lower the throw ball, the thing is, it's going to pull this loop to the tree. And that's the whole trick of this, is that you're using the weight of the throw ball to do the work. So, I'll put the loop here. Where's that? Okay, I'll put it here. Alright, and same thing, a double overhand knot. I'm going to kind of prop it up here on this little stub, because I kind of need that to work with me. Okay, so now I've got the loop here. I'm going to pull this in. You can see where it gets to. So when I lower this, I need the loop to get to it before it touches the ground. If you can't do that, then you can't make this trick work. So because we're doing a weird little demo here. I'm just gonna kind of fib this a little bit. I'll give you guys a much closer view of the actual tree here that we're trying to get to, so you can see what's going on. So we have our loop. If I pull the loop back to me, okay? With the loop here. Now watch, as the throw ball lowers, the loop takes off to it. So what I need is for something that I can attach to, I need something I can attach to this loop that will grab this. So I have one of these made, but I'm going to show you guys how to just make it from a treble hook. You know, you get a box of them. I think there was 5 of them in it originally. So first thing I do is I cut the tips off of it because you don't want it stabbing your rope. So you should probably do this not up in a tree. You should probably wear some safety glasses too. You get a chunk of metal in the eye. Yeah, I would recommend doing this not up in the tree. But then they have these little barbs on them too. So you want to mash that barb down. Just give it a little smash and it'll go in. Okay. The other thing I like to do is I like to take the prongs and bend them to one direction. So let's go towards you guys with all of them. So we'll bend that one a little bit. Didn't bend as much as I thought it was going to. There we go. And then I'll show you it afterwards. You could see originally all them prongs were really straight. But now they're going to have a little bit of a twist to them, which will help grabbing the string. It'll make that much easier. So, okay, so now you can see they're all kind of cocked to the side. And that's going to help because it's going to align itself as it's swinging. But see, it's going to be able to hook and kind of like this one. It sticks out and it'll reach in and hook it in there. So the reason I showed you how I tie a throw ball on is because that's the technique you're going to use for this. So same thing, the loop, put the loop through, and it's got to go over the whole thing. But now you've got a treble hook attached. Let's put our throw ball back over there. I wouldn't take the throw ball, I wouldn't take this off. It would be over there. I would have to keep it tight all the way up to the top where I want it. Well, all the way up here. I would keep it tight. I would tie my loop. I would reach back. I would get my treble. I would connect the treble hook. Now there's a few little tricks to this that you have to remember. Depending on how big around that limb is that you're going to try to get it from, you need to have that much of a swing here. You see the swing here? So the bigger the branch is, the bigger this needs to be, so that it can work its way around the branch to grab the string. So now I'm just gonna let you guys watch how it works. It's going in, it's going in, it's going in. And I've got a hold of it now. So I just start to pull it back to me. Here's the problem if you're not doing it. Normally, when you're up in the tree, you're going to have all this height to your advantage that you can use. In this situation, I don't have all that height. So normally this whole thing would be much longer. So let's do that again. And I would have a bunch more height to get over there and get it, and then more string to come back. So it's there. I let it swing in. Got it. Now I'll pull it in to me. I'll get it back. Let me show you guys, let you guys see that up close. Because I know this live feed thing's probably pretty tricky to see how that's actually working. I know my camera quality probably isn't the best. So that'll give you a really good view of how it's going to work right there. Let's do that. Okay, so all right, the throw ball's there. Now I'm gonna take and put my hook, and I'm gonna grab a hold of the other side of the string. Here we go. Got it. So now I'll just pull it back to me. Then I would disconnect my hook, put it over the top, take that off, undo the loop from it, and I've now got a rope that I can set over into that tree, and I can decide what I want to do as far as the transfer. Like, do I want to just go all the way down and come back up? I'm going to show you the way I would transfer this. Now I have a video a long while, it was a while back, like it was years and years and years ago, where I transferred from a pin oak tree about 80 foot off the ground to a really huge ponderosa pine, and it was like a 30-foot transfer over to the other tree. So I got all this set up, I have this. So now normally I wouldn't show all this. I'd take my hook, clip a little carabiner to it, put it on my side, clipping them little prongs off and keep it from getting stuck on you, catching other stuff. But that's a very, very, very cheap little tool that you can get and make. So now I'm gonna get a rope. I'm gonna show you what I mean by doing this transfer. It's been a long time, so let's see if I remember. Where the hell, who wrapped my rope up? Okay, so I got my throw ball. So now I'm just gonna take it off, connect my rope. So this little loop trick, I showed you how to connect it to the throw ball, but let me show you how to connect it to the rope. So you have your loop, you'll just reach through the loop and grab a piece, make a girth, then snug this up. Okay, so now you have that, and then you're gonna put a little half hitch up here towards the tip, and what it does is it stiffens this section of the rope. That way it doesn't catch up as it goes through. So now it should be pretty simple to set a rope through there and get it back. Oh shit. Only problem is this thing doesn't weigh anything, so it's easy to rip it all over the place. Okay, so you get your rope back. Now I've got it. Take it off. So now how would I go about this? Well, there's a couple different ways that you could do it, but let me think. I could just do this let's do it very old school. Let's keep it very, very old school. So I'm gonna have to back you guys up a little bit so you can see both. Remember, we're pretending like this ladder is the tree I'm in, and I want to go over to that. So let's throw more stuff up here. So I've got that now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to climb on like a taut line hitch to keep it simple. I mean, I guess I could have hooked up the zigzag or whatever, but let's just do a simple taut line hitch. And then you can reference it to whatever tool you use or you climb on. So, clip in, I would clip this to me, and I would have, there's my climbing setup. What I'll do is I'll taut line hitch myself here. Hard to snug everything up the way I would really do it up in a tree with this, because nothing weighs anything here and it's going to fall over if I pull too much. So work with me, understand that this is not perfect as a setup. So I'm tied in and I've got this set up here. I'm going to move you a little closer so you can understand. You can see here. So what's going on is I'm around this. It's kind of hard to see. Let's do it like this. There we go. So let's say this is the stem of the tree. I'm around it, and then it goes over to there. So I would have been tied in like this. Okay, what I would do here is I would remove my beaner or use a different carabiner. This whole time I am lanyarded in. If you have a second tie-in, go ahead and use it so you can get all this set up properly. So I would leave this the way it is. Now you see there's some slack. You see how this is. So now you can see there's some slack in that system, how it droops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snug it up pretty good so it's got a little bit of a droop to it. Okay, see that droop there? That's perfect. What I'll do is I'll use an carabiner real quick, and are you kidding me? Come on. Oh, I have a carabiner sitting there waiting. Like, all my carabiners disappear. So what I would do is, so I have a taut line hitch here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stopper, a backup underneath that taut line hitch so that it can't slip when I go. So I'm going to put a little taut line hitch. Okay, I'm going to put a little stopper in this. I'm just going to put a loop through and clip a carabiner to it. So what that's doing is that's just making sure that can't come out, it can't slide or anything. Now that I've got that snugged up, got Case dog, and I'm tied in over here, whatever, I would clip this to me, okay, and it would be attached to my attached to my saddle, and I would stay lanyard, and I would get up under this, and I would clip on to this, both of them, okay? So now I've got my carabiner clipped on to both of these. I would take my lanyard off, and I would bear climb my way up under it, sliding this little by little. This is the part where it gets a little scary. You need to think ahead that you'll have a footing over here when you get there. So I work my way over, I get to here, and I'm like, oh no. Well, I swing over, get my lanyard around, and I bring it over here and I unclip. So now I'm just lanyarded in. That's where I like to have two climbing systems. I would tie in real quick to just stay comforted, but this is my system, so I want to get this back. So all I would do then is I would move it like this, like a trolley, back to myself, back to here. That's my beaner, and what I would probably do is just release it back out. Take that stopper beaner off. I would undo my knot real quick. I would stay tied or clipped in with it, but I'm tied in already. So I would undo this, then I would just pull that rope out all the way back through. And if you wanted to leave it there to get back, you could, but I would pull it back through, And then now I would retie here, and I've transferred all the way over to this tree without going to the ground and save myself all kinds of time. So that I'm tied in. So I mean, there is an SRT version, I believe, where you do that same trick where you transfer, but that's me doing it with DRT and trying to dumb it down as much as I possibly can. So what's going on? What's up, ground pounder? I switched to a wire core. The second hole, flip line. Okay, use both. So yeah, that's it, guys. Any questions? A good amount of sap pitch freaking pines this summer. Ruined mine. Yeah, if I'm doing a pine tree, I'm definitely climbing on a pulley, or I'm bringing a bunch of speed line straps with me, and I'm trying not to tie in to the actual tree. I'm trying to use speed line straps as much as possible. I'm trying not to rig as much as possible. I want to use false everything when I'm in a pine or a sappy tree because it just ruins your stuff. So. But let me see if there's any questions, and if there is, I'll answer them. If there's not, that may be it. I still got to do dinner and everything, so. Great demonstration thing. No problem. My pleasure. Yeah, just I think I've done this trick multiple times before. It's just I never actually labeled it on the video so that people could go back and reference it. So that's your transfer trick at the end, but that same trick there with this little hook could be used to set a limb as a climber while you're up there. You want to set your rigging rope out on that limb, you throw it out and get it back. I've showed you guys how to do the little trick where you throw it over the branch and then you loop the rope around it a bunch of times to get it back. But this would be even quicker. If you had like a captain hook, I think it would probably work too. Same thing. That dangle, the length on that will determine, it's determined by how big around the limb is. So if the limb was this big around and you only had this much, it's not going to swing under it to get the rope. There's not enough length. So you would make it twice as long so that it could swing all the way under that big branch and grab that. So you just have to remember that. The other thing is you need to have, like, if you're 30 foot from what you want to get, but you're only 20 foot off the ground, it's not going to work, because you need this hook to travel 30 foot over, but it won't. It's going to travel 20, and then the ball is going to be on the ground. You can't do anymore. So, I mean, you could probably leave a bunch of slack and maybe get it, but still you're not going to get it back, I don't think. I don't know how that would work, really. You could probably get it back still, but you just have to play with this low. Learn this low. Don't take it 90, 100 foot up in the tree and then try it for the first time. And I recommend that with all tree climbing tricks, tips, all that stuff. Don't take it 100 foot in the air and then be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. It's never a good idea. So limb width, dangle depth. Yeah, the limb width determines the dangle depth, the angle of the dangle depth. So guys, I'm getting chewed up by mosquitoes. That was my transfer trick. That was a couple quick throw ball tricks. Whether it's how you store it, but you can see how easy this is to wrap up afterwards, and how to connect the throw ball, how to connect it to the rope. You can see I never tied one knot that whole time because of the loop. And after I figured out that little loop trick, I was sold. And I actually, it was so long ago, I don't know where I got that trick from. I'm sure I learned that from somebody. I think it was like Arbor Pod or something. It was a really old YouTube channel, but yeah, works so good. That's how I set my stuff up. Um, all I do is after I'm going to wrap it up, I cut a little slice into one of the things there, and then I just put the rope into it. So there's a little cut right there that pinches the rope. Then it's there ready for you when you're ready to use it. My throw ball always clipped to the outside of my climb bag, because it's like that first thing that you get a hold of when you get there. You know, you grab your throw ball string and your throw ball. So I always keep it on the outside, so it's quick and easy to get to. Do I have anything else? I believe that's everything. So yeah, I hope I explained that good enough, and I appreciate you guys always hanging out. Arbor Pod rocks. Yeah, he's a smart dude. That I think I really relate to his way of explaining things. It's a lot of diagram and like voiceover, and I feel like I kind of took some of my explaining style from him, if I'm being honest. And I've never thought about that, but now that I'm thinking about it, you emulate what you like. So I guess I probably shouldn't get so aggravated when I see sometimes like, hey, I just showed that trick, now somebody else is showing it. Maybe they don't realize it, or maybe, like I said, maybe you just emulate the stuff you like. Also, never throw away your climb lines just because you maybe cut it, especially the sewn eye end. I never throw that away. I like having a couple little short climbing systems, little lines that I can get a hold of, or I can take up into the tree and use as a secondary. So this was what was this? Oh, this was one of my favorite ropes I've ever had. This is a All Gear Rocket Line, and Ron Edwards, they call him Rhino. He's the guy that turned me on to these. He was the guy that showed me and let me have my first ride on a rope wrench too, and he kind of introduced me to a lot of stuff. So if Ron's ever watching or he ever sees this, thanks Ron, you're the man. You kind of re-inspired me when it came to this. I had done it for so long, I just was burnt, and then I got invited to a climbers camp out, and I was like, well, I'll try it out, like go hang out with some guys. So I believe we went to Mississippi, or no we did, where did we go? Yeah, we did. So we went to Mississippi and camped out. Well, we didn't camp out. I had my daughter and wife, so we stayed in the motel, but we stayed there until it was like way past dark, came back the next morning. Just a bunch of good guys. So you guys ever get a chance to do that kind of stuff, take advantage of it. I feel like I learned so much on that one little trip when I met them guys, that it just was like, it was crucial to where I'm at now. So don't pass those opportunities up. You know, in-person learning is like the only way that I have good luck when it comes to learning. So if you're anything like me, it's just easier when you're in person. So yeah, definitely OGs, Ground Pounder. Billy, hey, thanks for holding down the law, guys. I appreciate you. I'm working on the video. It's just slow, but I'll see you next time. Stay safe. If you have any questions, that's why they put a comment section. See ya.